People like to have their opinions and they're gonna let you know their opinions, and banks hate the self-employed. Yes, so you owe all of the money that you shouldn't have spent this year, but you've spent it. So oh my god, they both work with Alphalete, my queens. Absolutely not. Like, I'm done. I want to have some aesthetic goals and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Hello, oh my god, look, such a little egg sat in my car. The lighting's not as good as I thought it was going to be because it started to rain outside, but we move. Today's video is one that I've not done in ages, but I feel like so much has happened recently that I just wanted to do like a life update, Q&A type video. So I'm charging my car and I've got a coffee because I've got rapid chargers at the Starbucks near me, which is dead handy. Also, this is a very good use of my time. I'm charging my car whilst I'm filming a video. I'm gonna kind of let the questions that you guys have asked me on Instagram. By the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, it's just Amy-Rooks, and I highly recommend that you do follow me on there because whenever I do Q&As, whenever I ask for what content people want, I tend to do it a lot on Instagram. So definitely follow me on there if you're not already. Oh my god, this coffee's really hot. I've got a toffee nut latte, soy milk, milk cream. I never normally engage in the festive drinks, but I must say I've been enjoying them this time round. Yeah, if you see me like looking around, it's because I'm getting distracted by like people and cars and stuff. So first question is, it's been a few months, but how are you finding the no uni only business life now? So I feel like I've really fallen off of YouTube this year, so I'm not even sure if I updated when I graduated, but I've still not had a graduation ceremony. But I did finish uni in summer this year. Finished uni 3 years, technically 4 because, well, 3.5 because I did half a year of a course in first year that I didn't like and then changed my mind. So yeah, I now have my degree in marketing and management. I got a 2-1, which I always wanted a first or a 2-1. I was a little bit gutted that I didn't get a first, but I was kind of expecting it because of the grades I've been getting back. I was pretty much consistently getting high 2-1s throughout, so I was like, I'm gonna finish with a 2-1. It is what it is. And to say that I got that whilst also doing everything else, I think I did a pretty good job. So do you know what? It's been really, really weird. I'm definitely more used to it now. I almost had like an identity crisis when I finished uni and I was just working, because I was like, I've always been like super busy because I had uni to do on top of my work. And whilst I started working a bit more and like upping my capacity and stuff, it didn't feel like the time that I was using for uni. So I almost felt like a bit of a fraud because I was like, oh my god, I've actually got more spare time than I had before. Everyone thought I was like some kind of like hustle queen. I'm not going to say boss babe because we hate that word. We do not stand that word. Everyone thought I was like such like a hard worker. I was like, oh my god, everyone's going to think, what is she doing? Like, she's got way too much spare time. But now I'm used to it, and to be honest, now that I look back on it, I was doing way too much towards the end of my degree. Like, the whole of my final year of uni, plus coaching, plus my social media and like obligations with companies like Alphalete, which is like my ongoing sponsorship with them, it was way too much and I was running myself into the ground. So it's definitely taken some adjusting to, but I'm definitely preferring it. I still find it a bit weird though that I'm not a student anymore. It's definitely weird after being in education pretty much all my life and then just coming into the education of life, I guess. Someone else has said, has COVID affected your friendships? Do you think you lost contact and rekindled? No, I don't think COVID has impacted my friendships. If anything, my friendships with certain people have got a lot stronger this year. So I've got 2 best friends, Kennedy and Vicky, who I've been friends with since I was like year high. We'll always be friends. It's a very low maintenance friendship. Everyone has different kind of friendships that they like having and, you know, what they're used to. And I have like friends who are more high maintenance and friends who are more low maintenance. It is what it is. But I know as a friend, I'm a very low maintenance friend, so I like having low maintenance friends. That makes me sound like such a lazy person, but to put a long story short, Kennedy and Vicky I've been best friends with since I was like little. COVID didn't really impact our friendships because we still kept in touch, but they're like my best friends and I don't see them like anywhere near as often as I see other people. We've always been like that. I'll see them, you know, as often as we can because it's all very confusing now that everyone works, especially with like the jobs that some of us have. it all gets a bit complicated. I'm in a relationship, Kennedy's in a relationship, my sister's in a relationship, and it's always kind of been us four. Vicky's just doing her, which I love. But she's a really social person, so we see each other when we can, but we'd never assume that we've fallen out with each other or anything like that if we didn't speak to each other for a couple of weeks, for a month. If we didn't see each other for a month, it would never be a big drama. So my friendship was not affected with them. I've actually got a lot closer with Ebony and Alicia. Like, I'm a lot closer with them now, and that's unfortunately kind of come from a friendship fallout that I had. Not so much a fallout, we're just, you know, we've gone our separate ways, and I'm not going to discuss it because it's not really fair, to be honest, and I don't wish to discuss it. But essentially, I'm going to be honest, I never made an effort with Ebony or Alicia because I relied on this friend to invite me to things if they were invited to things with them, because they were closer to them than I was. We all went to school together, but they were like the glue kind of thing between me and them. And since I obviously stopped speaking to them, I've just made a conscious effort. It's kind of given me a kick up the arse to make an effort with people that I want to see and that I want to spend time with. So I've definitely got a way better friendship with them, and that's happened over the course of COVID. So yeah, that would be my answer to that question, and I'm super happy with like the friendships that I have now. Question number 3 is, are you saving to buy a house? I am saving to buy a house. I've been saving to buy a house since I started saving money. I have a lifetime ISA, which, if you don't know, you can put £4 a year into maximum, and the government will give you 25% of whatever you put in. So I always try and put as much in as I can. So say if you put £4 in a year, you will then get £1,000 from the government. That's then £5,000. So you've turned £4 into £5 over a year. It does have to be spent on a house, but that's the purpose of that money. Like, I'm putting that money away for a house. Banks hate the self-employed. I did look into, essentially most mortgage companies want you to have 2 or 3 years of books if you're self-employed before they will approve you for a mortgage, which I understand, you know, it's not as consistent as having a job. But to be honest, you can apply for a mortgage after having an employed job for a few months, and like in the current climate, people could get made redundant at any point. So I kind of feel like, I do think it's a bit unfair against self-employed people. I'm probably biased because I'm self-employed, but I do think it's a bit unfair. You can get, with some lenders, they will do 1 year of books, but the rates that you get and the deals that you get on mortgages when you're doing that are like, it's just not worth it. So I'm gonna wait. Obviously I will pay my tax in January, that's 1 year of books, and then I will be working out my tax for this year, submitting that to my accountant, and I may actually pay that off like when he gets back to me on that one, so that then I've got 2 years of books done. Start saving up more. I do not spend hardly anything of what I earn because I'm so scared of it getting to tax time and then being like, yes, so you owe all of the money that you shouldn't have spent this year, but you've spent it. So I try not to spend as much money as possible because it really scares me. Tax terrifies me. Student loan repayments terrify me. I'm not going to put a time frame on it, but I would love to have my own little property. Obviously I'm in a relationship, and with Dan we've spoken about this, but obviously he has his own apartment in Leeds which he owns. He doesn't rent it, it is his. We will cross that bridge when we come to it. But am I saving to put money towards a house? Yes, I am. So yeah, exciting. And to be honest, I'll definitely still be doing YouTube by the time I'm doing that. So if people would want like this is so way off, I'm really getting ahead of myself, but if people would want moving vlogs in like 2023, let a girl know, because I will happily do it. How did you meet Brit Shaheen? I don't know if that's how you say his second name, but I love Brit. That is one of my favourite people that I've not met her in person, but one of my favourite people that I've met through social media. Her and Wick, oh my god, they both work with Alphalete, my queens, I love them. So yeah, someone said, how did you meet Brit? Are you friends with any other Alphalete athletes? So yeah, that pretty much explains that one. I am friendly with Wick and I'm friendly with Brit. they're the only two that I really speak to consistently. I don't know how Brit came across my page, but she did. She followed me a few months ago, and I feel like we're quite similar. Same with me and Wick. We're all very honest humans. I feel like we just, I get on with them, I can speak to them, I'm very comfortable speaking to them. They've obviously got a way larger following than I do, especially on like Instagram, but there's never been any kind of like vibes of them like looking down on me for having less followers. Never been like that. I love those two. But yeah, they're the only two that I speak to, and it's not out of choice necessarily. It's not out of like, you know, I don't like anyone else. It's more just that oh, by the way, Kelsey, who works with Alphalete, is also really, really lovely. But yeah, it's not by choice or like any drama or anything that I don't speak to any of the others. It's just that obviously I have like, what, 18,000 followers on Instagram. Most of the people working with Alphalete have like hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram, and there's no like introduction to the team. There's no like big group chat. There's no like big team sort of things where everyone gets to speak to each other or even be made aware of each other's existence. So to be honest, people probably don't even know I exist, so that answers that one. Lots of influencers are sponsored by supplement companies. Why do you choose not to be? I'm gonna be completely honest. If you could think of like 3 supplement companies off the top of your head, they have probably approached me about working with them. Honestly, the only reason why I don't is because I don't buy, I'm not like dead into supplements. I take creatine, I take pre-workout on the occasional, you know, thing. I take protein powder when I need it. I'm not like dead into supplements, and I feel like a lot of companies want you to promote all their supplements across the board, and there's so many that I just don't use, so it just kind of feels pointless to me. What new or return items do you want to see Alphalete release in the new year? 2022 vibes. I don't know what they've got coming up. I'd love to see some more Amplify, but I would personally love to see them go back to the original material where it was a bit thicker and a bit matter. Yeah, I would love to see them do that. I'd love to see them do some pattern in Amplify. I know that they're doing the ombre sets. They look really cute, but I'd love to see some like muted colours. I know that everyone hates that, but I'd love to see some more like subtle colours in the ombre, because obviously bright blues and oranges aren't going to be for everyone. But I understand they've done a lot of muted colours this year, so maybe we should just let the bright queens have their time. Yeah, I would love to see Amplify. I would love to see actually the revivals come back if they could get them, like the 2017, 2018 ones. Would love to see those come back. Biker shorts, oh my god, biker shorts top of the list. Please bring the biker shorts back, the Amplify biker shorts, or even just the normal ones. I'm begging you. Like, I've been wearing the short shorts recently, and don't get me wrong, I love them, but like the biker shorts hit different in terms of how flattering they are on your bum. How did you start your journey to being an influencer? This was not intentional, right? I started my YouTube channel with the hopes of like obviously helping people with their fitness journey, reviewing leggings, that kind of thing, bit of lifestyle-y stuff, but mainly like helping people and reviewing leggings. And I feel like obviously since Alphalete spotted me, now influencing is kind of part of what I do, but it was kind of an accident that I ended up doing that. I remember saying to my friend when I started, if I was to work with a fitness brand company, I'd want to work with Alphalete, and now I get to do that, which is crazy, and I'm so grateful for it. But it was kind of a bit of an accident. Not an entire accident, because I did start a YouTube channel, and there's always the possibility that your videos are gonna, you know, blow up and people will want to pay you for things and people want to send you things. There's always that possibility, but that wasn't the intention when I started my channel. So I guess when I started posting YouTube videos, but there was never really like an intention there, if that makes sense. Someone has said nose update. There's honestly not much to update you on. I'll just get a little bit closer. So as we can see, it's dead straight from the front. I can breathe fine, all that shenanigans. And then I'll turn to the side so you can see. Yeah, I'm very happy with my nose. I have no complaints. It worked out exactly how I wanted it to, so that's the only update that I have on that. Someone else has said, will you have any more plastic surgery? Absolutely not. Like, I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I said this in a video after I got my boobs done, and I was like, wow, I regret my boob job. My boob job didn't change my life, and it had an impact on my confidence for like a couple of months, and then it kind of worn off. The way I feel about my nose is completely different. This has been life-changing. It was something that was so consuming, and it sounds so stupid, but I used to think about it every single day, and I don't think about it at all anymore. My nose is like a non-factor. I don't even think about it. I love my new nose, but I also feel like kind of there's like a level of like neutrality towards my nose now. When someone would take a picture of me before, the first thing I used to look at was my nose, and now I'm like, oh, my eyebrows look quite nice on that. Oh, my skin looks quite nice on that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm done with plastic surgery for now. When I get to 60, I might do a Kris Jenner and be like, oh, I want a facelift. But for now, I'm all done on the plastic surgery front. Someone said, are you going to move in with Dan? Yes, in the new year, more than likely. There's not much else to say on that one. In the new year, I will most likely move in with him, but need to get some like storage and stuff first, because he doesn't have loads, but he also doesn't have a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of stuff, but it's his apartment, so I don't want to like override or like take over loads of his stuff, because it is his apartment. So I'm gonna try and downsize my wardrobe slightly. I'm not sure how that's gonna go, because it kind of, it's like it feels like it's the right time to do it, and also I'm literally living between home and Dan's, and I'm feeling really unsettled with that, and I have for months, because I just feel like Dan's obviously isn't home yet, because I couldn't go to Dan's now and be like, oh, I'm gonna do XYZ, because I don't have all my stuff there. I would have to pre-plan it, and then when I go home, I just feel like that's, you know, my room's such a mess because I'm constantly like packing and unpacking things, and I just feel really unsettled. So yeah, hopefully in the new year I will move in with Dan. Someone has said, how do you invest your money? As I spoke about the LISA, that's all I do at the moment. I am considering, I don't know if I need a financial advisor, but I'm considering maybe asking my accountant for some advice on investing money, because I am aware that whilst my money's sat in the bank, I am literally losing money because of inflation. So I do need to start putting at least some of it into some investments, but I've got no idea what I'm doing. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know about any kind of like stock, shares, Bitcoin, property. I don't know about any of this stuff. I've got no idea. So I'm gonna get some advice from someone who's more qualified on that, and then hopefully start making some investments maybe next year. But to be honest, I'm just enjoying, you know, I'm 22. I feel like there's a lot of pressure for me to understand absolutely everything, but I feel like I'm in a position that's not necessarily normal for most 22-year-olds. So I'm kind of stuck between being super sensible and mature and also just being a 22-year-old and just enjoying my life. By that I don't mean stuffing all my money up the wall. I just mean not having all my money tied up in investments. I'm kind of conflicted, but I'm gonna get a qualified opinion on that one. Someone else has said, why don't you post on Instagram anymore? I do post. I post on my stories all the time. I'm annoying as hell on my stories. Sorry to anyone that follows me on there. The reason I post less on my feed is just because I feel like over this year, so many things have happened. Like, we were in lockdown for the first bit of it, then we came out of lockdown, but I feel like we've been constantly living in uneasiness in the UK, and especially at the moment, I'm filming this 3 days before Christmas. Like, there's so much uncertainty, and it's just really, it has affected me mentally this year. And it's just, taking pictures has just felt like such a, it sounds mean, and I don't mean it in this way, but taking pictures just felt like such a pointless, vain thing to be doing, which sounds ridiculous because it's literally part of my job when it comes to the influencing side and the social media side. It sounds so stupid to say that, but taking pictures has just been like the last thing on my mind. I've really struggled with body image this year, probably more than I ever have before, especially over the past few months. I don't know what it is, but it's just got to the point where I'm getting better with it now. I feel like I'm coming out the other end of it, but I wasn't wanting to post things. I wasn't wanting to take pictures because I just felt like, oh, I'll be having a really good day body image wise, and then someone will take a picture and I won't like the picture and it'll just set me back, sort of thing. It sounds really stupid, and I'm sure it probably is really stupid, especially in the grand scheme of things when so many people have got so many other issues. But yeah, that's pretty much the answer to that one. That's why I've not been posting as consistently. Also, when it comes to workouts and stuff, like I said, I'm just kind of feeling boxed in with fitness content. Like, how many workouts can we post? Also, I don't want to start making up random exercises to post on Instagram just so I have new fresh content. My training's really boring, and if you are interested in seeing that still, let me know and I'll happily share it when I've overcome my like anxiety over filming in the gym again. My training is so boring in comparison to other people's workout posts. Like, other people post way more interesting stuff than I could ever dream of. So yeah. Someone else has asked, what do your parents think of your job? I don't know, because I don't speak to them about it loads. I don't think this is like an issue with me or what I do. I'm pretty sure that my mum and dad don't ask my sister about her workloads either. I just think they kind of let us get on with what we're doing. My dad is definitely more inquisitive than my mum. Like, I'll mention something about Alphalete or my coaching to my dad, and my dad's actually quite inquisitive about it. He'll ask me quite a few questions. I'll be like, so how does this work? How does that work? Oh, so this is how that works. Could you do this instead? Would there be another way of doing that? Blah, blah, blah. And it's quite sweet that he takes an interest in it when I do bring things up. But yeah, I actually wouldn't be able to tell you what they think of my job because they don't really speak about it too much. Fitness goals for 2022. I want to get super strong. I feel like I've really coasted this year, and I feel like that's probably constituting to why I feel quite like stuck and a bit stagnant in general, just in life and in my fitness and all that sort of stuff. So I want to get super strong, focus on performance. I also want to have some aesthetic goals. I know this is like literally social suicide now if you say this and you're a fitness influencer, but I want to have some aesthetic goals, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with me wanting to have some aesthetic goals. If you don't want to have them, that's fine, but I feel like I'm ready to have some again. I've not had any for like the majority of this year, especially the past 6 months. I've just kind of been enjoying my training. Obviously I had my surgery, and then since then I've not even followed a program. I've just been doing what I wanted to do in the gym, which has been really fun, and I needed that to get my love back for training, because after like lockdowns and stuff it was completely gone, even with the gyms reopening. But now I'm back in my groove. I want to follow a program. I want to get strong. I want to focus on my back. I want to focus on my quads. I kind of want to get some baby calves going on maybe. I want to focus on my glutes, as always, boring. My arms, I really want to get some nice like arms going on. I also want to focus on my flexibility and mobility. Flexibility in terms of, obviously I used to be able to do the splits. I've not stretched in ages, so I can't do them anymore. I want to get those back. I want to start working on my box splits. It's unrealistic that I'll get them in a year because I'm not a flexible person, and they're very hard to get if you're not. But I want to at least try working towards them. Mobility, just I want to work on that. I want to work on my squat, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, they would be like my main fitness goals for 2022. Someone else has asked, what's the hardest part of your job? I don't really think there's I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's a hard part to the coaching. The influencing side, people always, they like to make assumptions, and people like to have their opinions, and they're gonna let you know their opinions, and I understand that's the price you pay, and I don't like to complain about it, to be honest, because it's a very small price to pay for the position I'm in. I'm very lucky to be in the position I'm in, and I don't want to grumble about it, but people have a lot of assumptions, and a lot of the assumptions are very unfair, and I'm a very sensitive person, so I definitely struggle with that. And I really struggle to not, like Dan always says, why are you explaining yourself to this person? Why are you even responding? And he's got a point, because I feel like the people that share their really quite cutting assumptions with me and quite rude assumptions with me, they're never going to understand me. Like, they're probably committed to misunderstanding what I'm saying, because the chances are I've posted something and they've completely taken it in a way that it was not intended. And there'll be one out of like 100 nice messages, and there'll be one and it'll just really affect me. And Dan's got a point, like, these people are committed to misunderstanding what I'm saying, so there is no point in explaining. But I always feel like I want to explain, because I always want everyone to like me, and that's just not possible. Like, that's just not realistic. It's not going to happen. People assume that because you've posted about like one of your achievements or something that you're really proud of, that all of a sudden you're materialistic, you don't care about anything, you're insensitive to other people's situations. Like, if we're gonna realistically go down the line of, you can't post, for example, I can't post about my new car because other people are in a really bad financial position at the moment. I understand that, and I really sympathise with those people, and believe it or not, I do what I can to help the causes and all that sort of stuff that I really care about, and even that my followers care about. Like, if I see that one of my followers sends me a donation link, like, I'll donate to it. Not that I'm doing it again, I'm explaining myself when I don't need to. But if we're going to go down that line of logic, then no one can ever share any of their successes or anything positive, because there's always going to be someone that's not in a good position at the moment. So yeah, probably just the opinions and assumptions that get made, especially when it's about your character and it's just not true. Last one, because I feel like it's a nice little question to finish on, is highs and lows of the year. Ooh, a nice little 2021 reflection. Let me know if you have got to this point in the video. God bless you soul. Let me know what your highs and lows of the year are, because I would love to read, and I also love to see like positive things that are going on in other people's lives and just spread the good vibes. And if there have been any lows, you know, how have you dealt with it? Have you overcome it? What are you doing in 2022? What are your New Year's resolutions? All that sort of stuff I would love to know. But my highs would probably be, obviously, my relationship with Dan. Obviously, we've been together a year now, so it kind of started last year, not this year, but I feel like our relationship has come on like leaps and bounds, and it's really strengthened. I'm not going to sit here and say we never argue, we're perfect, because that's not true. We do have arguments, we have disagreements, but it's really strengthened our relationship, and I've learned so much, and I'm really, really grateful for that. Our holiday, you know, all that sort of stuff, so many good memories. They've definitely been a high from this year. Also, his friends have been so lovely to me this year. They've literally welcomed me with complete open arms, which I am really, really grateful for. That has been lovely, to socialise more, push myself out my comfort zone, you know, make friends with people, speak to people that I probably wouldn't speak to if I wasn't with Dan. It's been really, really nice. That's been a high of the year. Another high of the year has obviously been, I've been able to see my niece and nephew again this year, which has been really nice. I've not seen them a ton, but being able to see them at all has been lovely. Obviously, any time spent with Debs and Garth is always a highlight. Obviously, like I said, I've gotten a lot closer to Ebony and Alicia this year, which I'm really grateful for. I've known them since school. We've always been friends, but I feel like we've got a lot closer, and it's been lovely. Like, they're such supportive people. There's no like bad vibes. They never, you know, we never make each other feel bad for sharing good news. We hype each other up. It's just a really supportive, gorgeous friendship, and I'm very grateful for it. That's definitely been a high. Continued friendships with everyone else, Kennedy, Vicky, etc. That's also a high. New nose has been a high. It's a bit, you know, materialistic, I suppose, but new nose has definitely been a high. Another year of working with Alphalete has also been a high. Obviously, I re-signed, I think in February, I signed for like a year with them. That's been a high. I love working with them. New car, obviously it's come quite late in the year, but that's also been a high. Yeah, there's been a lot of highs this year, I feel. Lows, really the first like half of it being spent in lockdown has been a bit of a low, and to be honest, the past 2 weeks has been a bit of a low. Like, so many people are in a shit position now with this new variant, and we don't know whether we're bloody coming or going, so it's making Christmas very unenjoyable, if I'm going to be completely honest. That's probably been a bit of a low for this year, but I'm trying to actually pinpoint anything else, and I can't really. There's like one thing I can pinpoint, but I actually don't want to speak about it, so we're just not going to speak on that. We're just going to gloss over it. But yeah, I would say that's probably my little year in review. Overall, other than COVID, it's actually been a good year. I feel like I've really made the most of it where I could, in the times where I could, in the times where, you know, we could go on holiday. I went on holiday, you know, I've made the most of it in the way that I could under the circumstances. I feel like it's been quite a nice year. It's been a difficult one, but when I actually think of like the positives and the negatives, for me personally, I've definitely had a lot more positives to come out of this year, which I'm super grateful for. And to anyone who's had like a really rough year, because I feel like that was me last year, for anyone who's had like a really rough year and really struggled, just know that we've got a new year starting, you know, next week. By the time this video goes up, it might even be New Year. We've got a new year, we've got 2022, and there's no reason why you need to be bound by anything that you don't need to be bound by that happened this year. You can start afresh, start a clean slate, take some lessons from this year if there's been any hard lessons you've had to learn, apply it in the new year, and let's all try and make the most of 2022. If anyone's got any like goals or New Year's resolutions, I'd love to hear them, but my camera battery's dying, so I've been talking for too long. I'm going to wrap this video up here. Yeah, let me know your 2022 goals, resolutions, any videos you want to see. Subscribe if you want to when you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram so you can join in with questions, and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And do comment below because it does actually help me out. I hate to be that person, but it does. Right, camera battery's flashing, I need to stop. Oh, my car's done as well, brilliant.